Have you ever wondered if the world is sleepwalking into a major crisis? Well, one of the most prominent international relations scholars, Professor John Mearsheimer, has been sounding the alarm for years, and his warnings are more relevant now than ever. We're exploring a world where diplomacy's failing. Western leaders are making risky choices without seeing the long-term effects. According to Mearsheimer, these decisions aren't just minor missteps, they are fundamental errors that could be pushing us all toward a global disaster. What he says next is critical, so listen closely because it sets the stage for understanding the precarious situation we're in. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insight.
Peace in our time has always been an illusion. What we call stability in the nuclear age is not peace, but paralysis, a balance sustained by fear and luck. For more than 7 decades, the world has survived not because human beings became wiser, but because their machines have not yet failed. The entire global order rests on a few hundred alert missiles, each waiting for an instruction that could end civilization in less than half an hour. It is not a system of deterrence. It is a system of faith. And faith, as history reminds us, eventually runs out. When strategists speak of deterrent stability, they assume rationality, the idea that leaders in a moment of existential threat will calculate perfectly and choose survival over pride. But real history offers no such reassurance. Human beings are not computers. They are creatures of emotion, ideology, and error. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, we survived by accident by the restraint of a single Soviet officer who refused to authorize a launch in 1983. A Soviet early warning system mistakenly reported incoming U.S. missiles. One man, Stanislav Petrov, decided not to believe the data. Twice, civilization depended on the intuition of an individual rather than the wisdom of a system. That is what we call peace. The illusion of safety has grown worse with time. Technology, instead of widening the buffer between warning and war, has eliminated it. Missiles that once took 40 minutes to reach their targets now arrive in 10 hypersonic systems. AI-assisted targeting and preemptive doctrines have reduced the decision window to mere minutes. The leaders of nuclear states live inside an architecture of instantaneous catastrophe. A technical malfunction, a misinterpreted radar signal, or a cyber intrusion could trigger annihilation before reason has time to intervene. Deterrence has become indistinguishable from instability. The United States, Russia, and China each believe they are acting rationally. Each calls its policy defensive extended deterrence, strategic containment, sovereign protection. Yet every move made in the name of defense narrows the margin of survival. NATO's eastward expansion has placed American weapons within minutes of Russian command centers. U.S. naval patrols operate within striking range of China's coastline. Russia, in turn, deploys nuclear-capable systems in Kaliningrad and Belarus. China builds silos in its western deserts. Each state mirrors the other's fear while calling it deterrence. What unites them is not security, but vulnerability. Realism teaches that fear is the foundation of order, but it must be managed, not denied. Today, the great powers no longer manage fear. They monetize it. They convert insecurity into budgets, alliances, and postures of moral superiority. The West proclaims that it defends democracy. Russia insists it defends sovereignty. China declares it defends stability. All three invoke virtue to disguise ambition. None can admit the truth that they are trapped in a strategic system where one error, one misread signal, can erase a millennium of civilization. The logic of deterrence has become a theology that no one truly believes, but everyone continues to obey. The fragility of peace lies not only in weapons, but in psychology. Nations now mistake escalation for resolve, provocation for deterrence, and dominance for stability. The world has built its security on the assumption that leaders will always act rationally under pressure, yet the evidence of history, from Sarajevo to Baghdad to Kiev, is that they do not. We live, as the strategist Thomas Schelling warned, on the thin line between prudence and panic. The line has never been thinner. We are told that nuclear peace has endured since 1945. But peace built on terror is not endurance. It is postponement. The next war will not begin with a warning. It will begin with misunderstanding. And by the time it is understood, it will already be over.